Kiernan Jared Forbes. Known as AKA, this man wasn't just a rapper. He was a phenomenon, a trailblazer, whose music resonated far beyond South Africa's borders. From humble beginnings in Cape Town, AKA burst onto the scene with a sound that blended hard-hitting hip-hop with African rhythms, crafting anthems that would define a generation. His lyrics told stories of ambition, love, and struggle, while his beats brought dance floors to life. With hits like All Eyes on Me and Fella in Versace.
All eyes on me, I see nobody.
Fella in Versace, Mandela in the Rivalry.
AKA didn't just make music. He created moments. AKA's impact extended beyond music. From his ventures in fashion to his influence as a brand ambassador, he was a symbol of success and reinvention, inspiring young creators to dream bigger. Behind the fame and the accolades, AKA faced his share of trials. Through every challenge, he remained unbreakable.
Who got the juice? Who got the juice? Somebody make me off, I can't confuse.
Channeling his experiences into art that touched hearts. As the world remembers AKA, his legacy lives on as a reminder of the power of music, the strength of resilience, and the influence of a true SupaMega. Let's take a look at his life beyond the spotlight.
You gon' say look to the bad guy.
Kiernan Jared Forbes, better known by his stage name AKA. Known as a rapper, record producer, songwriter, and businessman, his success in the music industry is a testament to his hard work and talent. However, before the fame, fortune, and accolades, AKA's journey began like many others, with humble beginnings. Born on January 28, 1988, in Cape Town, South Africa, in the Western Cape Province, AKA's early life was shaped by his parents. His mother, Lynn Forbes, was a school teacher, and his father, Tony Forbes, worked for an insurance company. While AKA spent much of his time with his grandmother in Mitchell's Plain, he also has a brother, Stephen Forbes, who is 5 years younger than him. In 1995, at the age of 6, AKA moved from Mitchell's Plain to Johannesburg with his mother. Although they were not living the fancy life, the family's strong bond and resilience were key to their survival and progress. Before the move, AKA attended Holy Cross Convent in Cape Town, later enrolling at Greenside Primary School after relocating to Johannesburg. He continued his education at St. John's College. During his high school years in 2002, AKA's passion for music led him to form a rap group with friends known as The Entity. This was the start of his musical career, laying the foundation for the superstar he would eventually become.
Feels like it's touching. Let the beat bounce.
The formation of Entity and their first album. AKA's journey into the music industry took a significant step forward in 2002 when he and his friends formed a rap group called Entity. The group, which consisted of AKA, Vice Versa, and Greyhound, was a pivotal part of his early music career.
The fact of the way the fans react. We've forgotten everything depends on their positive feedback. Rap, stature of youth, impulse, indulge in the pleasures of sun in your soul. Results, questioning the human heart. Fame, money, glamour, condemn the human pulse.
In 2005, Entity released their first and only album, Royal School of Hip Hop. The album featured several notable tracks, including hits like First Gear, Behave in the City, and From Coast to Coast.
this, yeah. Well known that a rap crew could hold a rap view with ransom. If we split an atom, entity watches conserve the energy and slowly splits it atom.
It was time to take flight. Lost 3 and we had to fight. 3 left, 2 wrong, still make right. One mic fills rap appetite. Yo, it's time to show pose. Situation is touch and go. You're trying to pull us down, but that's how we learn. And we build and we grow. Close the door and turn the sound up. Drown myself in rhythm and cleanse the bad luck. The music system drenched my system, left me feeling different. Cause I wondered how the words and sounds had changed me while I was listening. Speeded out my rounds, drive the sound waves. If you spellbound in the haze, pay to text, connect with, enter and exit with minimal effort through mind and ear segments. Entity here to make the music pregnant and make it give birth to splendid minds with the proper Ferrari engines. Rendered from MP3 through the UC. Reaction of the people is a truth and proof. I flew the coop, cross the line in hot pursuit of loot. Plus some super duper fly on loops in the front line. Mics and use. Cause it's time to take flight. Lost 3 and we had to fight. 3 left, 2 wrong, still made right. One mic fills rap appetite. Yo, it's time to show pose. Situation is touch and go. You're trying to pull us down, but that's how we learn and we build and we grow.
Royal School of Hip Hop gained significant attention, with one of its standout songs being First Gear. The album was well received in the South African hip hop scene, and Entity's growing influence was further validated when they performed at the prestigious Cora Awards that year. The group was nominated for the Best African Hip Hop category, earning them widespread recognition and publicity.
Only goes to show that the past and the present affect the future, yo. When past every event comes a new one, so I hold on to hope. Hope the seeds every song that make you heal and move on. Those who break it down, hopefully make you strong. See, I'm on to something, but even if nothing becomes a one thing and I'm bleeding, hold my head high, keep on breathing.
It's time to take flight. Lost 3 and we had to fight. 3 left, 2 wrong, still make right. One mic fills rap appetite. Yo, it's time to show pose. Situation is touch and go. You're trying to pull us down, but that's how we learn and we build and we grow. And we learn and we build and we grow. And we learn and we build and we grow.
We're finally here.
We learn and we build and we grow. It's Entity, baby. Bring it back now.
Despite the momentum, the group disbanded in 2006, bringing an end to their brief but impactful career together. This period, however, marked the beginning of AKA's solo journey towards stardom. After the breakup of Entity, AKA continued to pursue his passion for music and further honed his skills by studying sound engineering at the Academy of Sound Engineering. During his time at AAC, he worked part-time creating radio ads for SABC Sports, further immersing himself in the industry. In 2006, AKA co-founded the production collective known as the Ivy League, alongside Boogs and Kamza. The group quickly gained a reputation for its talent and innovative approach to music production. From 2007 to 2011, the Ivy League dominated the local music industry, producing hit tracks for well-known artists such as Kulichana, Reason, Sugar Smacks, and Pro Kid. One of the collective's most significant successes was producing Bumper by Pro Kid, which became a major hit and marked the beginning of their successful run. AKA and his colleagues credit Pro Kid for opening doors for them and helping launch their careers. In a Sunday Times interview, Pro Kid reflected on the first time he met the members of the Ivy League, sharing the story of their encounter at Capello in the CBD. He recalled feeling a strong connection when AKA, then known as Kiernan, approached him. Pro Kid recalled,
It's like, I believe you can never be larger than life, yabo, because you never know where the next thing will come from. When that kid Kiernan spoke to me, I could relate to him and I was like, okay, let's go in the car, and he played me some beats.
In 2009, AKA released Do It, a track that earned him significant recognition, landing him features in Hype magazine. Then he released another single called Mistakes. His rise continued in 2010 with the release of I Want It All, the lead single from his debut studio album, Alter Ego. The album's pre-release singles, All I Know and Victory Lap, also generated attention, with Victory Lap becoming a successful hit on top South African local radio channels. AKA's career took another pivotal turn when he entered into a business partnership with Fifth Season, a brand owned by Raphael Benza. During this time, AKA also began working with his new manager, Tibbs. The collaboration marked a key moment in his career, and on August 23, 2011, Alter Ego was officially released. The album's commercial success was undeniable, earning it a gold certification from RISA. Alter Ego not only solidified AKA's status as a force in South African music but also garnered numerous accolades, including the 2011 Metro FM Award for Best Hip Hop Album. AKA's success reached new heights when he was awarded Best Male Artist of the Year at the 2012 South African Music Awards, further cementing his place as one of the leading figures in the South African music industry. As is often the case in the world of hip-hop, competition and rivalries are inevitable. During the time AKA was coming up, he had a notable beef with fellow rapper Ltido.
Going for 1 o'clock. Ltido's not here. I didn't think of that, you know what I mean? That's bad. That's Michael Jackson bad.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident, man. I feel like I'm on top of the world. I feel like I'm at the peak of my powers.
Look, beef is just good to build the hype. You know,
Blitz gang on here. Ltido is in here. Probably still doing their nails and stuff. I think we're about to find out what the L in Ltido stands for. He had a couple of cute lines, a couple recycled lines. I'm not scared. I don't fear any man, you know. If they're going to beat me up, they're going to beat me up. But they better make sure that they take care of me, because if I have to come back at them, it's going to be twice as hard.
This rivalry sparked a new creative direction for AKA, culminating in the release of Jealousy. This track marked a turning point for AKA as he began to fully understand his artistic identity and the sound he wanted to bring to South Africa. AKA's sophomore album, Levels, was a game-changer, incorporating elements of house music and kwaito into his hip-hop sound. This fusion played a significant role in the album's success, which sold over 210,000 copies and was certified 7 times platinum. Levels featured some of AKA's biggest hits, including All Eyes on Me featuring Deleuze, JR, and Burna Boy.
They were out here to shoot my next single called All Eyes on Me. Features myself, Burna Boy, the LES, and JR. And we're shooting a kick-ass video.
Man, it's been great, man. You get me? Them peoples, there's real peoples, you get me? So obviously, we'll recognize real is it. So more time where I feel look clean and shiny.
Man, all these people that I hear, like Chiano, Sky, we all friends in the game. You know, we all people that want to just push, you know, African music to as far as we possibly can.
It's looking great. You know, Liz is looking nice. There's a director right here. Everybody's in the background preparing, but I mean, everything's going well.
All eyes on me.
And Run Josie featuring KO.
And we decided that we wanted to, obviously because the song is called Run Josie, we wanted to capture Joburg and, you know, its various elements, but caption in a way that hadn't necessarily been done before. So we decided right from the onset that it would be in black and white. You know, I personally thought that because every artist has to do a classic black and white video, hip hop artist, and I hadn't really done that, you know. So I thought it was a great time for me to do a black and white video, take it back to the basics. And we really went all out for this video. We obviously closed Mandela Bridge. which is something I know that has been done for the likes of David Tlale and previously before, but I don't think for South African or African hip-hop video.
It also included some dope.
Hands in the air if you been broke. I see millionaires making bread, that's the end goal. Private jet bands, can't see through the window. So if I die, I pray to God he bring me back a symptoms.
And Control, featuring the Less. The album's unique blend of dance music samples marked a significant shift in AKA's sound, one that he has continued to refine ever since. According to Sony Music Africa, which distributed Levels, the album amassed over 11.9 million video views and 28 million combined streams, solidifying AKA's place as a dominant force in the South African music industry. One song on the album sparked what would become one of South Africa's most famous hip-hop feuds, the song called Congratulate. The song's success, particularly its #1 spot on South Africa's iTunes charts, was met with a challenge from fellow rapper Cassper. Cassper's song Dark Shebeliza was claiming the title of the biggest hip-hop song in South Africa. AKA boldly tweeted a #1 on iTunes, not Sepishaya. Know the difference. In response to Cassper's success, AKA's hit song, Congratulate, had indeed topped the iTunes charts at the time, and Cassper responded with his own tweets, which he later deleted within hours. The tension escalated as Cassper Dark Shebeliza was available for free download on sites like Datifile Host, which many considered to be a less reputable platform. Despite this, the track was downloaded over 100,000 times, and the rivalry between AKA and Cassper ignited. The back and forth between the two rappers continued to build over the next few months, with both parties exchanging subliminal shots on social media. When asked on Pulse Nigeria TV about the origins of the beef, AKA attributed it to ego. In typical rap fashion, he explained, "This is rap music, and rap music is all about, I do this better than you, or I got this watch." When the art is based on being competitive, people are going to clash, and egos are going to come into contact. In early July, the feud took a more direct form when Cassper released his Brian Soko-produced single Fumakimi. In the song, he rapped,
I told my story and made a fortune, AKA's favorite rap. I guess I made it on the Forbes list.
AKA wasted no time responding on his Tweezy-produced track Some Dope from Levels, where he rapped,
You should fuck with the winners. You got some buzz from your single, but that's just luck for beginners. I'm coming back in another life just to stunt on your children. Drop top for the summertime, proposing this toast, focused on goals like I'm #9. Every one of these flows, my foes gon' analyze. Eyes closed while I fantasize.
Throughout the course of the beef, Cassper largely maintained a more humble stance. As the new kid in the industry, he often expressed that he felt that, AKA being a more established figure, was favored.
What about this whole story with AKA?
Yeah.
Anything?
I was actually asking people not to ask me about it anymore because
okay, so we don't want to go there.
Yeah, I want to move on, man, because my whole thing is I got this far through my music, and I don't want to be that guy who's in tabloids every week because of something that has nothing to do with my music.
Yes.
Because of personal issues. So, but my whole thing is, I have no hard feelings against anybody. I'm doing pretty well, and I just want people to go out there and support South African music and support AKA as well. Go out and buy his album. You know, it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty well, and yeah, that's just
and that's the way it is. And we're focusing in on the music
Yes.
now, particularly
and
your
love,
new
man.
album.
Let's just spread love, you know.
Let's spread the
shout
love.
out to AKA, man. I love your music.
Okay, let's look at your album. Let's talk.
And you know, we need to know all about, you know, what started it, where we at with it, because there's freestyles and comments coming out which aren't barbs and shots. They're just, but people are wanting it to be barbs and shots.
Because like they messed it up. I was rapping on a back-to-back beat,
Which is like a beef.
Yeah.
Beat.
So people were like, already.
And they wanted it.
Yeah, and then.
So how
so
did
I
it
felt
start?
like I had to do a song.
Yeah, do a proper.
Kind of,
yeah.
It started with we were friends, man. You know. And
Tight in the camp.
Yeah, we were really, really cool, and I guess that's why we're two of the biggest. You know, because we're very similar.
Yeah.
You know, and we inspired by the same people. So we were friends, and then, but I was a youngin' like in the game. You know. So, but once you start getting your own success, it gets funny. You know, they say that they want you to do good, but not better than them. That's how it all started, and then we met, and then we squashed the beef, and then he went on. And
So the vibe was that, you know, you were together hanging out. And
Yeah.
Was he a little ahead at that stage, do you think?
Way ahead.
Oh, for real? But you were cool and hanging, and then you started, you know, to get your shine on.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you hit that moment, and what was how did the beef manifest itself at that stage?
The funny thing is, it was all like social media, you know, sub-tweets.
Yes, yes.
That's how it always starts. Well, modern beef, it's like sub-tweets. You think someone's talking about you. I gave him a call, he didn't answer. I SMS'd him like, yo, man, I wasn't talking about you or whatever. And then we spoke, and then he was like, yo, go your own way, I'll go mine. And then we did that.
Oh, for real? So that it was agreed that you'd just go your separate ways?
Yeah, and then the subliminals in the joints, you know, in the
Started coming out,
songs,
yeah.
and then
On I Hope You Bought It, the opening track of his debut album, Cassper poured out his frustration about how he had been treated unfairly by the industry.
Scoop told me I should take down names. Y'all should thank him. I was about to take down names, break down games, put a trigger, who's on blast? My advice come from niggas who don't rap, they believe in the man, which is part of the reason I believe that I can. Compilers making me struggle, they ain't feeling the man. Wish the media would treat me like Kiernan and them. I hope you're feeling this passionate, this dream soon cap it.
This sense of being an underdog contributed to the tension between the two rappers. The rivalry reached new heights when both artists headlined shows on the same night in Cape Town in August 2014, forcing fans to pick sides. The situation became even more intriguing when veteran rapper and blogger Slicker weighed in, suggesting that the beef might have been plotted for publicity. On his website, Slicker on Life, he wrote, "Surely this is planned." AKA and Cassper sat down and plotted this beef thing.
I know AKA is in studio, you know, in 2015.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. And you know, Cassper's got a couple of other things that he hasn't released this year that in 2014 that I think he's only going to release in 2015.
Yeah.
Just following his posts. So I think it's going to be. I think this year was really like the foundation of what of a blow up next year.
Okay.
My thing about next year is I'm wondering. The guys this year, the AKs and the Caspers and the Cash Times, they did so well this year. I wonder if they could be anything that's bigger than them the following year.
Wow.
You know, that's what we need to do next year.
Yeah.
Rapper Chana, who was performing at Casper's event, also shared his thoughts on the feud. He expressed his admiration for both rappers, saying,
I mean, I've always been vocal about how it's a bit of a battle for me because, you know, I'm a huge AKA fan. He's my lady. Yeah. Cassper is my lady. And it kind of sucks. It would be nice to be one big family. Yeah. But, yo, you know, it's I gotta be honest, I find it a little interesting as well. You know, it's hip hop is a
competition,
Yeah, so big up to them. I just hope it doesn't ever get to a Big Yam Park situation. You know what I'm saying? And I hope, you know, at the end of the day, I've always been about building, and I hope eventually we get to that place where we are building again. You know what I mean? As a community, yes.
Despite Kuli's wishes for peace, the tension continued to rise. A few days after both AKA and Cassper performed in Cape Town, things took a more dangerous turn. Both artists were scheduled to appear on SABC's popular Friday night music show, Live Amp. After Cassper arrived at the show, he tweeted that someone from AKA's camp had pulled a gun on him. He shared on his social media, "I will not be performing on Live Amp tonight." I get to the makeup room, and AKA's homie pushes me. I ask him not to, and he pulls out a gun on me. I walked out, and then I decided I will not do the stupid shit anymore. This is not the first time I've had a gun to my face. I live the gun life for real, and I choose to rap over it. You'll want to live that life, see where it takes you.
And then it spiraled into like one time there was a gun involved, where one of his friends had a gun to my face. And then it got stupid.
That's a fucking beef.
Yeah.
That's a real fucking beef. What the bullshit?
It got really stupid.
That's Twitter fingers turning to trigger fingers.
Hopefully.
Oh my days.
Fortunately,
So what happened? What was that incident with the gun in the face? What happened?
Yeah.
Tell us what happened.
We were booked to perform at the same TV station, I guess.
A TV
that's what
show.
That's what they do, just to get ratings,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So there was no security. I was walking into the makeup room. I was there. I went to the toilet. When I came back, he was in there. So as I'm coming back, his homie just pulls out a gat and puts it in my face. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So
Now,
I turned around.
was
and I
that like
walked
a
away.
self-defense move? They thought you were coming for him, or
No, like I'm not a violent dude. Like I'm from the hood and I lived that life when I was a kid, but I'm not a violent dude. So I didn't even start anything. I walked in, there was a gun in my face. I thought about it, I turned around and I walked home.
For real?
Yeah.
After the altercation involving the alleged gun incident, Cassper opened a case against Prince Nyembi, the AKA affiliate accused of pulling the weapon. AKA responded by denying the allegations. By the beginning of November, AKA announced that the charges against him and his camp had been dropped, leading to a brief break from the drama. However, controversy reignited later in November when MTV Base released a list of the top 10 hottest South African MCs. The list placed Cash Time Life's KO in the #1 spot, Cassper in second, and AKA in third. This ranking sparked outrage from fans and fellow artists. Despite the uproar, AKA remained surprisingly calm, congratulating both Cassper and KO for their spots. Cassper, however, felt slighted and took to the studio with Beef, a track where he expressed his frustration with the industry's favoritism, while also sending subtle jabs at both KO and AKA, rapping, "Cool with #2, because I'm richer than #1.
I've once put out a song called Beef, you know, and it was just talking about a bunch of stuff in South Africa, and I never got a reply because it was that great, you know, like, so if anybody, especially AKA, if he had to say something about me, I'd gladly reply. But for now, I don't need that kind of attention.
In early December, Cassper posted on Facebook expressing his desire to collaborate with both KO and AKA, stating, "I want to do a song with AKA and KO. #We the Power Circle." The post, accompanied by a photo of Cassper posing next to his red BMW, sparked excitement among hip-hop fans at the prospect of a collaboration. However, this excitement was short-lived when AKA responded with 2 consecutive tweets, "I have a real question to ask you. You ready?" And "What's going on with these amateurs over the internet?" posting some messages, quoting a line by KO from AKA's song Run Josie.
In a city where having no morality is totally fabulous. What's going on with these amateurs over the internet posting some messages? Next thing you know, your career is over. Gonna over some characters.
At this point, it became evident that Cassper was ready to move past the beef, but AKA didn't share that sentiment. During the South African Hip Hop Awards, the 2 rappers sat near each other, and AKA continued to provoke Cassper, even posting a video of the encounter on Instagram. Many fans felt that AKA's behavior was wrong and unnecessary. Then, just one day before Christmas, AKA tweeted a photo of himself and Cassper standing next to a swimming pool, looking like they were at a hotel. The caption read, #squashed #Merry Christmas. The long-running feud was finally over, leaving fans to hope for new beginnings in the coming year. In early 2015, the feud seemed to have truly died down. Fans and industry insiders believed that the two had put their differences aside. However, the peace didn't last long. At the MTV Africa Music Awards held in Durban, Cassper won Best Hip Hop Album, an award that reignited tensions. TV personality Boity, who was also Cassper's girlfriend at the time, presented the Best Collaboration Award to AKA for his hit All Eyes on Me, featuring Burna Boy and Deleuze. In an awkward moment, Boity, seemingly unaffected, announced, "Cassper wins everything anyway," before stepping away without much enthusiasm. A few days after the MTV Africa Music Awards, Cassper announced that he was attempting to fill up Johannesburg's Ticket Pro Dome, a venue with a capacity of 20,000 people. No local artist had ever filled this venue, and even international stars like Trey Songz had failed. Cassper's energy appeared to be more focused on this monumental achievement than on continuing the rivalry with AKA. Yet, in a tweet, he claimed, "So AKA comes to my table in a club and slaps me. You'll probably deny this, like you always do, but it's fine. Just want y'all to know this." AKA denied the allegation, tweeting, "I need to clear the record. These are false allegations. I did not slap the shit out of someone tonight. I do not condone violence." However, AKA later admitted to slapping Cassper, tweeting, "At the end of the day, there are people doing their utmost to damage my reputation. Okay, yes, I did smack Cassper, but this is crazy." He eventually deleted the tweet under the instruction of his management. The following morning, DJ Sinclair, who is AKA's baby mama, was being interviewed on Metro FM. She shared her thoughts on the beef between AKA and Cassper. She said, "I just don't feel anything about it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get what's going on. I don't have a full idea of what's going on in their minds. But for me, I'm not even getting involved." AKA's relationship with DJ Sinclair was one of his most talked about romances. The pair was seen as a power couple in the South African entertainment industry, and their chemistry was undeniable. In July 2015, the couple welcomed their daughter, Cairo Forbes, and fans celebrated their growing family.
Okay, tell me when you met your baby daddy.
Yeah.
Because when I first heard of that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
This guy, no way.
Two
This must
different
be a PR
people.
stunt.
Yeah, two different
Because
people.
some celebs date for PR.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
No, not in South Africa. No, not here.
I'll drop some files, but not on this episode.
No,
So
not here.
I was like, nah, it's a PR stunt.
Yeah,
And then
that's
the
so
baby.
weird. No one hasn't asked me how I met Kiernan in years, because it's just like...
How did you guys meet?
We met at a show in Botswana.
So you DJing there, obviously.
I was DJing, yeah. I mean, I had a big song at the time, and I think he had Victory Lab and a few other songs.
So you know him, obviously.
I knew him because I had DM'd him. I knew that would fascinate you. I knew that would like get you excited.
Yeah.
So I had DM'd him before.
You did DM back?
No, I checked him out like on Twitter. No, he did. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I checked him out on social media the one time, and I saw a few songs. I was like, wow, this guy is quite dope. This guy is so cute. Like, okay. And then I sent him a DM saying, yo. And my song was big at the time, so my name is. So it was, I was a thing. Exactly. Sent him a DM. I said, yo, I would like to do a song with you.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, yo, cool. Like, when you have the beat, send it to me. We can do it. So basically, he still owes me a song.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Kiernan, we want that song. That song would be fire right now.
So,
you've made a baby. You can the least you can do is make a song.
Exactly. He owes me a song. He promised me a song before the baby. So I said, okay, cool, I'll send you the songs. Really, there was no song. There was no.
I see what card you played. Yeah, it's pretty smart.
So
Botswana comes.
Then Botswana comes. I think Botswana must have been months later.
Yeah.
We just hung out, man. We hung out that same night. Obviously.
Approximately a month after welcoming their baby, AKA and DJ Zinclair's relationship came to an end. Zinclair, in a public statement, claimed that AKA had cheated on her with TV personality Boning Matiaba.
I know you've denied these allegations that you had an affair with Bonang. Do you still deny this?
Can we stop the interview, Benza? Why are they asking about this thing now?
I asked about the affair allegation. I wasn't briefed enough to ask then.
Let's talk outside quickly. I'll be back.
Now, we know that last year, AKA and Bonang denied being in a relationship after being called out by DJ Zinclair. In an open blog post, Zinclair said that AKA, who is the father of a child, had been cheating on her with Bonang. Both denied the claims, saying that they were focused on their careers, but they are on vacation in the same place.
AKA officially began dating Boning Matiaba. The relationship was glamorous and often showcased on social media, with fans dubbing them South Africa's Beyoncé and Jay-Z. However, it wasn't without controversy. Many viewed the relationship as tainted due to the cheating allegations, and DJ Zinclair's fans often criticized Boning.
I didn't put anything in anybody's faces, man. I'm just
okay, that was that. Let's do it now. Now two of you have come out in the open. It's relationship. How's it going? Everything going well?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, so you're officially a couple. Let's get that.
Why are you laughing? What's funny?
I just think, I'm looking here and it says the beat on the wall. Feel the beat, and the beat is the music. Lagos, you know what I mean? And music, that's what we about.
But this is what inspires you.
That's what we really about. We about the music.
Bonang is your muse. The muse that helps you inspire the music.
Okay, what I'm wondering, because after you get through all of this serious conversation, after you get through a long day's worth of work and you go home, who is helping you relieve your stress? Who is stroking your beard? Who is giving you a foot massage? Who is she?
Oh, I know this answer. Her name is Pro Tools. No, I'm just playing. No. The thing is, when you love what you do, the saying is, when you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. You feel like you're working right now? You don't feel like you're working.
Do I look like I'm working?
No, you don't.
No.
So for me,
but I'm putting in work.
So for me, all my time spent not on the stage is spent making music, so I can be on the stage. But apart from that, I do have somebody in my life who treats me very well and who I adore. For lack of a better word, I'm not good with this mushy stuff.
I see.
This right here.
Oh man, you went to? Did you run and print? Did you run and print that out?
Yes,
in the break?
Because I
Bonang,
that's dedication.
Bonang. Put this beautiful woman. And then she's known too, right? What is she doing?
Yeah, she's on radio too. Actually, she's got her own radio show every day on the biggest station in SA. She's a TV presenter. She's like a model. She's hot.
Yeah.
You're so cute.
Wow.
Okay, so what was your style like when you approached her? I like this side of
Oh
you.
man, it's a long story.
Hey man.
No, look, my he's like, oh man, how is he gonna tell the story? Basically, we had known each other for a couple of years.
And be honest, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm being honest.
Okay.
We had known each other for a couple of years, and I was in a relationship, and then some things happened, and now we're together. And she had always known that I kind of dug her. And I liked her and she liked me, and there was a lot of controversy back home with what happened, us being public figures and me being a
was all over the
being in a
news,
relationship at the time. But you know what? I've apologized for my mistakes. But you know what? You have one life to live, man. If you love somebody and you feel it and you really want to give it a go, you should take a shot, man. At the end of the day, take a shot. If you get a shot, you got to shoot it.
You got to shoot
You know
it,
what I mean?
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's your life that you got to live in. You know, people get hurt and love. But I'm not the first man to do this.
Oh, here we go.
So it is paparazzi back there.
No, not paparazzi, more sensationalism, you know, Sunday papers.
Well, this was all over the headlines.
Yeah, Sunday papers and blogs and stuff like that.
How'd you get caught?
Okay. Snapchat. That's why he ain't on Snapchat, damn it. He just told your ass, Tracy.
Where'd you fuck up, AK?
The snappers.
Look, yeah, man. Anyway, DJ Wonder.
Despite the backlash, AKA and Boning seemed deeply in love, frequently posting photos of luxurious vacations, matching outfits, and public displays of affection. Boning even inspired some of AKA's music, with tracks like The World Is Yours believed to be about her.
That you'll be the first person to take.
Hopefully, I can be the first person to take that one.
Well, we'll be crossing fingers. Aren't you hungry?
Yes, I actually am.
I want to take you to the most amazing restaurant.
However, cracks began to show in their seemingly perfect relationship, and in late 2017, AKA announced their breakup in a series of cryptic tweets. He later hinted at infidelity in the relationship, though neither party provided concrete details. In what seemed like a response to the breakup, Zinhle tweeted that she would be buying a ticket to Cassper's Fill Up the Dome concert. This could have been seen as a move that could have been intended to make AKA jealous. AKA's diss track Composure came as a surprise to many. The rapper had announced he was releasing new music but hadn't hinted that it would be a diss track aimed at Cassper. The track, released in early September, took aim at several people, including Cassper, Ifani, Anoti, and Ricky Rick. He also spoke about his breakup with DJ Zinhle. AKA had a lot to get off his chest. Lyric after lyric, he took shots at Cassper, reducing him to ashes in his song. He also revealed that Anoti, who had featured him on the track The Saga, charged him 80,000 Rand for a beat, despite the fact that AKA was largely credited with making the song a hit. In Composure, AKA addressed multiple controversies that had been simmering in the background, including his beef with Cassper. After more than a year of personal tension, AKA finally took the beef to the music, handling it the traditional way in hip-hop, through lyrics. All eyes turned to Cassper, wondering how he would respond to the lyrical attack. Just 2 weeks later, Cassper fired back with a brutal diss track of his own, Dust to Dust. A lyrical expose that hit way below the belt. Cassper spoke on everything, in AKA's personal life, his professional choices, his past beefs, and even his relationships. He accused him of being addicted to cocaine, of being kicked out of a townhouse owned by Oskido, and he also claimed AKA didn't even write some of his biggest hits. Despite the fiery and personal nature of Dust to Dust, the biggest criticism of the song was Cassper's clumsy delivery. Even respected lyricist Stogeti weighed in on the feud, sharing his thoughts on social media. The battle will go down as one of those "who do you prefer" battles. AKA was lyrically superior, Cass was personal AF, that's my word. Ricky Rick also expressed his opinions on Twitter, saying that he felt the whole game was against Cassper. Y'all thinking Cassper's battling AKA, but the whole game is against him. When you were successful, people want you to fail, he tweeted. He also pointed out that many artists and DJs were siding with AKA. The question on everyone's mind was whether AKA would respond to Dust and whether the feud would ever come to an end. Fans and industry insiders eagerly waited for AKA's next move, as it seemed this rivalry was far from over.